Hey everyone, how's it going? Cloud here, and welcome to my guide on the Carnillean Rising quest. Now, for this quest you need the following requirements. You'll need 50 quest points, and you also need to have completed Ceril Cult and the Blood Pact. You'll also need these skill requirements: level 33 Thieving and level 31 Construction, and you need to be able to avoid a level 91 Cave Wolf Matriarch. That's it for requirements. As for the items, you just need to have 23 inventory spaces to collect items during the quest. So that's it for requirements and items. Now onto the quest starting point. So we're currently at the Ardone Lodestone, which can be accessed via the Lodestone network, and from here we're going to keep heading south until we reach the Carnillean Mansion, which is just south of Ardone Castle, and we're going to go speak to Xenia, who will find outside. So I'll speak to you in a moment. So talk to Xenia and she will tell you to speak to Ceril Carnillean in his mansion, as he has a task for you. She was recruited herself earlier but refused. If you sided with the Carnilleans during Ceril Cult, the Carnilleans will gladly accept you, but if you sided with the cultists, Xenia will reveal that she used trickery and deceit for Ceril to trust you. Regardless of the option you took in the previous quest, you want to locate Ceril in his room in the western part of the ground floor and speak about the job. So he will say that Henrietta and he are growing older and need an heir, but their son Philipe is rather snobbish and not much of an adventurer, so you need to create a quest for him to complete using only materials made from the house, and the quest is to be set in the sewers under the mansion. He will hand you a list containing a number of tasks to do, and do not forget to ask where you can get the stuff from, otherwise you'll not be able to continue. So after you've spoken to Ceril, you need to speak to the butler. So he will tell you to search a bookcase for a book about the Carnillean family. It is located in the room with Henrietta Carnillean, and then you want to go in the basement and go into the cave near the ladder. So upon entering the cave system, a cutscene will play, and the butler will explain to the player what to do, and inside the tunnels you'll see various things that can be built, a bit like in construction, when you do your player own houses. Right click and then will show what items are needed for them to be constructed, but obviously you don't need to do that, as I'll talk you through it. So after the cutscene you want to head back to the house to start gathering some resources. So you can do this in any order, but I will go through the list of what you need. So upstairs in the master bedroom you'll need to take 2 dragon heads from the walls, tear off the neck curtains from the northeast wall, search the wardrobe and take the sword and armour, and then take one of the following 2 items for Philipe's reward at the end of the quest. And it can either be Sir Ceril's money pouch, which is lying on the bed, or Henrietta's necklace. In Philipe's room you want to take the red paint from Philipe's painting set. In Sarsaparilla's room you must first convince her to help you by asking her about her ambitions and telling her you're setting up a dramatic play and want her to play the damsel in distress. And you want to search the wardrobe to get the dress to give to her. In the cellar you will need to find 30 rusty spikes, which can be found by the barrel of junk by the cave entrance. Buckets of water may be collected by clicking the 2 buckets on the floor next to the sink. 7 are needed for the floor water pool trap, but you can choose to make an alternative trap instead. 9 wooden boards, twine, shears and a jug of Sir Ceril's wine can be taken from the cupboard. Pick up the spider on the floor and speak to Claus to get him to agree to help about being the drunken jailer. So once you've collected all those items, you'll have a choice on which ones you want to use for constructing the quest, so it doesn't actually do any direct change to the quest result itself. It all depends on what you guys want to do. So constructing a quest, all of the hotspots will periodically sparkle, which will help you identify them as you proceed, and also asking the butler about the list will let you know exactly what you need to finish, as he'll go into details about it. So what you want to do is enter the cave if you haven't already done so, and if you ever need to come out, if you right click on the butler, you can select exit. So the entrance hotspot in the cellar, which is the cobwebs around the entrance of the cave, will require spider from the cellar floor and netting from the curtains in the bedroom, so you'll need those two to build that hotspot. Next is the death defying stunt to get past the obstacles, which is as you go in the cave. So you have two options. You can either use 7 buckets of water to build a water pit, or use the bone scraps in the wolf cave and the spikes to build a spike pit. The bit to sneak past and patrolling guards, you want to talk to the 2 goblins, Nostrilia and Slime Pit. Nostrilia will only agree to help if you give her human armour. Offer the armour that was taken from the wardrobe and ask them to play the role of the guards, and after a long dialogue they'll walk to the guard hotspots. After the goblins have been set up as guards, you can build tripwires in a nearby hotspot. This will be what you need to twine. You may want to construct a tripwire as the last thing you do, as they can be a little bit tedious to cross each time, but that's up to you. Disguise as a humble maid to get a jail guard drunk, so go to the cellar and ask the chef Klaus for help unless you've already done so, and you'll tell him that he's to be the drunken jailer. So to get Klaus to disguise as a jail guard, what you want to do is ask him to do it, and he'll agree, but only if you give him Ceril's fortified wines, which you should have taken already, but if not, it's in the cupboard near the oven. You want to lead him into the part in the cave just before the bridge over the water and build him in the jailer hotspot. For slaying some guardian dragons, enter the cave in the southeast part of the dungeon to find 2 juvenile wolves hunting a cave mouse. Grabbing the mouse will cause the wolves to follow you closely, so you want to lead them to the dragon hotspot and build it to position them, which is across the bridge from Klaus, and then when they're actually in position, use a dragon head on both wolves to finish them. Untying a damsel in distress, you want to speak to Sarsaparilla and ask her to help. When she refuses, if she's already refused, you can ask her if she's going to stay up there all day. She'll then reveal she always wanted to be an actress after watching the performance, and you'll tell her that you're making a play. So the role will be her being a damsel in distress, and she'll then get you to take her to the room with the 2 dragon guards and build her in the damsel in distress hotspot, and then use the twine on her to tie her up. And then for returning home with a load of riches, you obviously need to have took one of the 2 items that I mentioned at the beginning, which is Sir Ceril's money pouch or Henrietta's necklace. If you've taken Sir Ceril's money pouch, you need to use it on Klaus after he's in the hotspot, and if you've taken the necklace, you want to use it on Sarsaparilla after she's tied up on the hotspot. And then not forgetting to make the cave look good, the decoration hotspots give you 3 choices. You can either use bloodstains, which is red paint, scary eyes, which is red paint and wooden boards, or impaled skulls, which is animal skulls and spikes. It doesn't matter what you choose, but one of each will impress Philipe. He will not be impressed by repeated decoration. So the 3 hotspots to decorate are after the pit at the end of the hall, on the northwest wall before you get to the goblin camp or patrolling guards, and on the northeast wall after the tripwire corridor just before the jail guard. So once you've built it all, talk to Philipe and offer him the quest. He will then tell you that he overheard his parents and knows the plot, thus not being very cooperative with you. So what you want to do is pickpocket him and you'll get his bag of sweets, and now offer the quest again, selecting as a reward the bag of sweets, and he'll reluctantly agree to do it. So what you want to do is start going through the cave with Philipe, and he should go over most of the things himself until he gets up to the part with the goblins. So after he sneaks past the guards, or attempts to, he'll keep trying and eventually give up. So what you want to do is talk to Slime Pits, and as soon as Butler Crichton narrates, wait for a few moments and do not go forward the dialogue, and Philip will be able to sneak past the guards. Keep running it all the way through until you get up to the part where Philip encounters the dragons, and I'll talk to you again then, but the rest of it should be pretty self-explanatory. So once Philip slays the fake dragons, the cave wolf matriarch will appear, and Philip will tell you to destruct the matriarch so that he can kill it. And to do this, you need to simply click once to attack it, and it will immediately shift its attention towards you. So the wolf has two attacks, both of which are dodged by running constantly. The first is an area-based magic orb, and the second is a howl attack. So literally all you need to do is keep running around the wolf matriarch and allowing Philip to attack it. As Philip keeps fighting it, he'll suddenly start leveling up and getting stronger, so he'll be able to actually start doing more and more damage against it. Once Philip has defeated the wolf matriarch, you'll be shown a short cutscene of his rescue of Sarsaparilla, and following this scene you'll be teleported back to the main floor where your character will be rewarding Philip for the completion of his quest. Speak with Philip, and a cutscene follows where Ceril hears how quests went, and while speaking to Ceril, Xenia will teleport back to the entry place of the mansion. Speak to Xenia once more and she'll reveal that she was the one that planned the entire wolf attack, and amusingly your character will be very frustrated when learning of this. And then finally you want to speak to Ceril one last time to finish the quest and receive your reward. So, after speaking to him, it will come up with congratulations, you have completed Carnillean Rising. You're awarded 1 quest point, 2,500 thieving and construction experience, 2 Carnillean lamps, each granting 1,500 experience in any skill above level 30, 5,000 coins for returning Lady Henrietta's necklace or from opening Cyril's money pouch, Philip's sweets, which contains 5 purple sweets, construction supplies, which are 100 oak planks, 30 teak planks and 10 mahogany planks, a treasure chest containing a gold bar, and the treasure chest itself can be used to make personal treasure hunts. I'll talk about that a bit further on. Philip's note, 2 treasure hunter keys and 2 hearts of ice. So that's it for the main quest. Overall, it's not exactly a difficult quest, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just pretty much you doing like what you would do in your player-owned house in terms of like making a dungeon or something. So the main majority of you shouldn't really get stuck with this quest, especially if you're following the guide. So there are some post-quest rewards. So after the quest, talk to Ceril Carnillean and to locate Philipe Carnillean, who will give you an experience lamp worth 2,000 experience in the skill of your choosing. You must have then the correct number of quest points before Ceril will give you the next location. You don't have to speak to Ceril to unlock the next location, however you need to use the experience lamp to make Philip move to the next one. What I will do in the video description below, I'll list what quest points you need in order for him to appear in another location, and what quest that requires as well, and then obviously what experience reward you'll get, just to save having to talk through that. Now, there is another alternative thing you can do at the end. So if you talk to Klaus the chef, he'll tell you about the wolf matriarch, and if you defeat her and get her skull, you get the choice of the following rewards. So you can either get 2,000 pure essence, 3,500 flax, 200 dragon scale dust, or 100 unicorn horn dust. So it's literally going back and fighting the wolf matriarch again, but she's not really that difficult, so you can obviously do that any stage really. So the last little thing I'll talk about is the treasure chest, which you got as rewards. So the chest allows players to bury an item somewhere and let another player find it for a reward chosen by the original player. Once a chest is buried, the player will receive the treasure chest keyring. This item cannot be banked by the player that buried the chest. So there are 3 settings that can determine who can access the chest. So setting a pin allows anyone to dig up the chest, but they must guess the pin. If the key option is selected, players must be given a key by the chest owner before the chest can be dug up. And only a single item can be added to the chest, though banknotes and stackable items can be added as well. Also, this chest can be banked with the rewards remaining inside of it, so this provides an opportunity for people with over max cash to keep another gold stack, but obviously I don't think many of you will be doing that. So the chest can only be used on Gillinor's surface, excluding quests and minigame areas, to prevent smuggling of items. So that's more if you want to have a bit of fun with some friends and that. You're doing like sort of a social gathering thing. For myself, if I ever do sort of like a subscriber event, I could always hide that chest up with a stash of like coins in there, and you've all got to guess on finding it. If obviously you give clues and the clue to the pin, just things like that really. But other than that, that is all the sort of quests. If you get stuck at all, which I very much doubt you will, then leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll help you out as best as I can. If not, thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, favourite, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends. Thanks for watching everyone, bye bye.